Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel and blog. I'm Jenny Hall. Thanks for joining me for another tutorial. Today I have another idea for a decorated box, and I'll be featuring this box for an Easter gift. I'm using the Basket Bunch stamp set, the Basket Builder framelits, and Easter Message stamp set. I'm choosing to work with the daffodil flowers for this card, and I thought I would give the flowers a little bit of a special treatment with an ombre look. I'm using So Saffron for the yellow and Calypso Coral for the orange color. Typically for me, daffodils seem to be more yellow than not yellow, but I thought it would be interesting to give them a little bit of a darker hue. So to do this ombre look, I am using the rock and roll technique. Sometimes if I feel like it didn't get quite enough of one color, then I'll bring it back to the stamp pad to get another color. Here is a image of the box. Pardon me. And the actual box is really easy to stamp on. It is made out of something comparable to Whisper White cardstock, and it just soaks up the ink really nicely. I'm very, very pleased with the results that I'm getting from using these decorated boxes. I think that this type of a gift holder is something that it's nice and it's not too fancy. Sometimes when giving a gift, I don't want to go over the top with my gift packaging, and that's going to take away from the gift and from the sentiment that is behind giving the gift. So this is a nice balance for me in my crafting. I'm using a little bit of that rock and roll on some of the flowers, but I basically want to echo the same flowers that are going to be decorating the top of the box. I have found that it is more advantageous to stamp the box before it's opened up, because once that box is opened, then it doesn't quite lay down exactly the same way. I can still stamp on it, but it's not as flat as it would be otherwise. So my tip to you would be, when you use this type of a box, to be sure to have your stamping planned out before you actually start folding and unfolding all of the different components. I'm using the long leaf and the daffodil together, and I'm going to have a piece of this really lovely designer paper from a Little Foxy. This is Calypso Coral on the background of the paper, and so I'm choosing to tie in the color of the flowers that are stamped on the box and that are going to be die cuts. I'm choosing to put them together and have the design elements echo one another. I'm using fast fuse to attach to the acetate, as sometimes acetate is a little bit resistant on whenever I use some type of adhesive. So I wanted to use something that I knew for certain would definitely stick to the acetate. Snail adhesive would also get the job done. However, the fast fuse adhesive is much more strong. So once I've got all of these components really started, then I'm going to start working on the box. Once I start putting it together, I fold each one of the flaps to the outside and to the inside. It's a very easy box to put together, and I want to make a note that the paperwork with this packaging says that it is food safe. So if you had a cupcake or some cookies or Easter candy, whatever it is that you would like to put inside, then it's definitely safe to go in this box. Here is all of the little die cuts that I made from what I stamped, and you have a look at my little cup that I use. I sometimes put the little backing pieces of the foam dimensionals, but I tend to use it more for making sure that I don't lose any of my dies. Some of the dies that come in the sets are really small, And I have had more than one time a die will kind of work its way away from where I'm using it. Or if I drop it on the floor, then I have a really hard time trying to relocate and find that die. So, one tip that I would share with you is that if you have a very small receptacle, it could be a coffee cup, it could be a spoon rest, any type of little receptacle, then it will be something that will help you during your project. This little bowl I picked up at Walmart for like 49 cents. Here is all of the little components starting to go together. I have a piece of early espresso cardstock that I have used the layering squares dies, and I chose early espresso because it is a very high contrast yet complementary color of the calypso coral. So I'm just going to add all of the leaves. The leaves are going to kind of work in and out of where the heads of the flowers are going to be positioned. I'm trying to keep them on the paper yet hanging off of the square paper just a little bit. I am conscious of how I want the square to fit onto the box. The box itself is 3 inches squared, like every direction is 3 inches. It's a perfect square. So if I'm going to give this as a gift, I don't want the pieces to stick off of the box too terribly much. A little overhang is okay. And perhaps if I send these packaging boxes in the mail, then I don't want them to shift in the mail and then be like torn apart by the time they get to their destination. Here is a piece of scrap white cardstock with early espresso ink, and I'm using the sentiment from Easter message that just says Happy Easter. I think it's a really nice, pretty font, and being able to put Happy Easter on the box and not have the sentiment hang off too terribly much works perfectly with the balance of the design. Here is just a nice white ribbon to add a little extra wow. Thank you for watching this project. I would encourage you to subscribe to my channel and please like the video. Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching the video. See you next time.